Hey y'all, what is going on, peeps? Happy Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. I don't know why, you know. But hey, happy Sunday, everyone, and thank you for each and every one of you coming to join me today. I'm in this feel good session of the Sunday sit down with yours truly, Nicole LaTreece. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I am happy that each and every one of you guys has taken the time to come and sit with me and join me today. I hope that your week up until this point has been a good one for you. Um, that there wasn't just a whole lot going on that managed to, shake up your feelings, make you feel some type of way, put you through some stuff that was possibly unexpected. If so, the Sunday sit down is where we come each and every week to be able to just let it all out, to be able to talk, to converse, to be able to just take a moment to engage in something intentional as a means to be able to push us forward. So if you're joining me tonight, hello to everyone in my Facebook world, all of my Facebook peeps, and to everyone on my YouTube channel as well. Sunday Sit Down, we do it once a week, every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please, please, please support, support, support. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and share if you feel like this has motivated you in any way by the end of this video, hey, let your girl know. Tell me that it's all love. And if it hasn't, if you don't agree with what I say when you come and sit down with me on the Sunday sit down, hey, I'm here for that too. I'm a big girl. I'm grown. I can handle it. That's what this space is all about. So today we are coming together to talk about what really lies at the root of your motivation. And I wanted to specifically put it in that manner because we're always asked, kind of from time to time, hey, what motivates you? Like, what motivated you to wear that? What motivated you to do that? What motivated you to have those specific thoughts? Give me just one second. I'm actually I don't know what it is on my streaming platform that I use. It sets oops, that's not what I meant to do. There it is. It sets my privacy to just me. And I'm like, I'm here for it. I'm all about it. Maybe, I do need to sit back and act like I'm talking to myself when I come to you guys on Sundays for these Sunday sit downs. But in all actuality, I do. I don't say anything to any of you that I'm not actually either going through currently in my life, because that's what is at the root of my motivation in coming to you guys each and every Sunday to be able to have the conversation with you. Um, I'm either going through whatever I come to you with, I have either gone through it. It is something that I have identified that would be beneficial for me in my future endeavors. And also maybe the subjects and the topics that I talk about are also something that people around me are going through or experiencing at the same time. So motivation. Yeah, for this one today, it's come to me for a multitude of reasons. Some of it is my own. I will give the disclaimer that the majority of my reasoning behind coming to talk about what lies at the root of your motivation, it does come from my observation of how people around me have chosen to either move, prioritize, or assess a certain level of importance to the things that it is that they do. And one of those people, that I've been in close observation of lately is none other than my own daughter, my 10-year-old who's going on 40. Um, I just be wondering sometimes, like, man, like, what motivated her to be able to do that? What motivated her to think that way? What motivated her to make that decision? And some of it, I'm just gonna be honest, I'm like, that just don't look like it makes sense to me. And if something don't make sense to me, if 1 plus 1 is not equaling 2, it equals 2.5863. Like, in somebody else's world, um, that equation, the answer to that equation, it makes sense to them. Okay, so can you help me understand, like, what motivated you to really do that, express that, feel that, say that, show that? Like, I just be wanting to know because if I am able to know and I feel like if I'm able to be able to get insight on where her motivation lies, then maybe some of the conversations that we have to engage in time after time after time after time, maybe we don't need to re- really in those conversations either so much or in that particular way if I could just understand, like, what really lies at the root of her motivation. And then even in the world, like, the people that I interact with on a personal level, business is business. I understand the motivations behind, like, I'm a now a junior staff accountant. Woo woo. Thanks be to God for that upgrade and that elevation in title and everything else that came with it. But in accounting, I understand what the motivation is. The motivation is the numbers. It's what needs to happen with the numbers, and the numbers need to make sense. Much like I said, the math has to be math, and it's a lot of where that reference comes from, but that's neither here nor there. But in my personal interactions with people is just something that I don't understand. I genuinely would like to be able to have more understanding in regards to it. So that's why I'm coming to you guys now to be able to have these conversations and share this insight. And I just really want to dive deep into this topic because I feel like it's an essential one that should resonate with everybody. Because if you don't take the time to realize what lies at the root of your motivation, you could end up somewhere. You could end up being somebody. You could end up in a situation where it's just like, man, like, and I hear this too. I hear this from clients. I hear this from other people. They're just like, if I would have thought about that more, maybe this wouldn't have happened. I feel like it would because God leads us everywhere, where it is that He wants us to go. So it still would have happened. You just may not have had as much turmoil going through the process. But my hope in having this conversation is to undercut us to um, really be able to start a journey of uncovering the truth of what really lies at the root of our motivation from time to time. Understanding the underlying forces that drive our actions is crucial for personal growth and achieving lasting change. That is a better way for me to say what I said a moment ago. If you don't condition yourself, if you don't train yourself to really start to evaluate what lies at the root of your motivation. And it can be motivation, but there are other words that you can substitute for motivation. What lies at the root of your decisions? What lies at the root of your thoughts? Wherever you are in your journey, there is a word that pertains specifically to you that you can put at the end instead of, or in the place of, not instead of, in the place of, because it all cycles back around at some point. You're going to have to still get back to what lies at the root of your motivation. But yeah, whatever that word is for you, type it in the comments, type it in the chat. Let me know, what are you trying to uncover? What really lies at the root of your blank? Some examples again, like I gave: your decisions, your actions, your thoughts, your behaviors, um, your choice of clothing, your choice of men, your choice of a woman, your choice of how you handle specific situations. I'd be interested to get insight from you guys to see what it is you're trying to get to, understanding what lies at the root of your blank. And today we'll explore different aspects of motivation, dissect its complexities. Motivation is not just a basic thing. The less thought that we give to it, we feel like it is. But again, the purpose of this conversation is to give it more thought, to be able to understand there are a lot of little things. Some of them are big, but there are also a lot of little things that go into the process of being able to determine what really lies at the root of your motivation. So we're going to dissect its complexities, and I'm also going to provide you with insights to harness it effectively. So, motivation. Motivation, motivation. I got a song called Motivation. You see all sorts of motivational speakers, inspiration. Motivation is a word that is very present and accounted for in our society. It means something different to each of us, but it is something that is important. Motivation is honestly the fuel that pushes us in what we do in our daily lives. One way I can show you, why do you get up in the morning? One, you get up in the morning. Some people, you might get up in the morning because God gave you breath. I agree with that. That's the beginning. Beyond that, what is your motivation to do anything else that you do outside of that for the rest of your day? What's your motivation to get up and get moving? What's your motivation to go to your job every day? What's your motivation to raise your kids every day? What's your motivation to um, engage in being an entrepreneurship? What's your motivation in supporting, being a part of, and loving your significant other? What's your motivation in being able to go and work out? What's your motivation in just everything? Because in everything, motivation is what fuels it. Motivation is what starts it. Motivation is what keeps it moving forward. Like right now, for me, where I am in my own personal life, baby, baby. If y'all only knew the half of it, but there is genuine motivation behind where I'm moving into next, my next space of operation. There are some things that cause this newfound motivation. There are some experiences that I have no problem saying that I have experienced here lately. And I'm still kind of experiencing them, but at the same time, I've allowed my newfound motivation to be able to push me beyond settling for the experience of previous things. There are some misconceptions about, in my opinion, misconceptions about what motivation is. And there are some misconceptions about what actually motivates us. And the reason I say that is because some people like to use motivation as a possible blanket statement to be able to keep certain things and certain people at bay, like keep them in their proper place or keep them on that shelf where they feel like those things belong. Um, Motivation, I feel, when looked at properly, your real motivation and what really lies at the root of your motivation, it should be you, not other people. Because if you get to a point, and I say this because, like I said in the beginning, I'm not going to talk to y'all about nothing that 9 times out of 10 I have not experienced myself. I'm not currently experiencing right now myself, or that I am not willing to put into the blueprint of my future. I know what it's like to 1000% have your motivation lie in someone else. And it's not that person's fault that you decided to put your motivation into someone else. Sometimes some of us don't have fully what we need to be motivated, but we have these external factors and situations and people in our lives that's just like, okay, like I ain't quite motivated just for myself, but I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to find the motivation to do this because of this person. And this is starting for me to get into that space of the complexities that I was talking about motivation has, because it's a catch 22. Maybe I put it like this: be mindful of where your motivation lies. Be mindful not to put it solely, that means all the way, 100% without a shadow of a doubt, within someone else or something else. Life, if nothing else, is a series of constant changes. If your kids are your motivation, but you know at some point you are motivating your kids to go on to be responsible adults, to be able to go on and go to college, start their own businesses, their own families. That means at some point your motivation is going to change. Your motivation is literally going to grow up and move away. If you are putting your motivation in something, be weary of that as well, because as quickly as you get something, some things can be lost just as quickly. Oh man, that's a whole word. I ain't. All right, Lord, you controlling this today. Um, yeah, it's nothing in life is guaranteed. As much as we fight for it, as much as we try to make it happen, Layla, go clean up like you were told to clean up. No, go clean up like you were told to clean up. Then we ain't got nothing else to talk about. No, you can't do two things at once if you're cleaning. Like, it's 7 o'clock. It's after 7 o'clock. This is a prime example, y'all. I told you I don't talk about it if I don't really know what to say about it based on my experiences. What is the motivation in? She wants to be able to clean the back of her ears because she got some new earrings and they're agitating the back of her ears. But we specifically talked about her being able to focus and concentrate on doing her chore as a means to keep herself busy while I am doing this with you guys. But she came out twice. She told me a text, stood behind the camera. Baby girl, what was the motivation for you to do any of that? And I'm really on a quest to be able to try to like get better insight. I don't think I'll ever be able to figure it out when it comes to her or even some of y'all that I'll be interacting with. I'm just gonna be all the way, truthful. Give some of that hot energy as I'm calling it now. That honest, open, and transparent energy. I don't know what y'all be having going on with your motivation when you engage in certain things, certain behaviors, and then what is the motivation in blaming like other people when something doesn't go right for you? The motivation should have been to engage in better choices, better behavior, better means of communication, but I didn't have nothing to do with it. I want all my people to win. I want all my people to be able to find their motivation. I'm kind of getting off topic right now, but I guess I need to talk to y'all like cuz I don't want this to keep happening. I don't want you guys to keep experiencing the same cycle after cycle after cycle because you have not learned the lesson of figuring out what your motivation is before before you do anything. Don't try to uncover your motivation after the fact because it's not going to hit the same. It's like if you do it before if you find your motivation before you engage in something, it might actually change the way, the means, and the reason behind you actually doing that thing. But if you do that thing and then try to figure out what motivated you to do it, you have way more work to do to reverse engineer and get through all the muck of the mess that you experienced to try to get to the beginning to figure out what the motivation was. And for some of y'all, even when you do all that extra hard work, you still don't let that experience motivate. I'm not allowing myself to go through that anymore in the future either. So again, at that point, then the cycle just continues to go on and round and round. And you start, I just said this to one of my best friends. That's how we end up with generational issues. When we're not in a place to uncover like where our motivation lies, when you don't allow yourself the space to uncover that and really sit in and live in the discovery of where your motivation lies, you do what you do, but in everything you do there is energy that is given off. Like I've said before, I am a firm believer, and this is probably my life's motto: energy changes and elevates energy. Energy goes out and energy comes in. That is a Excuse me, that is the most basic reference that I can give you when I say that reference. But what you do in the here and now, it does not just live in the here and now. What you do here and now, it did not more than likely come about just because of your experiences here and now. You had other things that you did, other ways that you chose to do things, your preferences, but you saw other people do, trying to fit in with the crowd, how your parents, there are a lot of things that contribute to the complexity of how your motivation forms itself. But if you don't treat your motivation as a living part of your body, you may not die, but something in your future generations may. You may win. There may be experiences for your future generation where they're gonna have to take those L's. Finances is the biggest thing for a lot of us. A lot of us were not told good information, if we were told any information at all, when it comes to the true space of understanding finances, your money, your investments, the way you spend it, your motivation behind it. Some people are motivated to make money, more money, more money, more money. Like some people are motivated to I need money to be able to live, to have a roof over my head, to have food in my stomach, to have a car to be able to ride around in, to be able to provide for my kids. Some people have a motivation when it comes to money to be able to look into the future and start a means now for their future generations to be able to be better equipped, to be able to have a different type of motivation when it comes to finances. I will say I identify as the latter. I am the one who, well, the middle and the latter. I'm the one who I understand that money is a method to be able to live. I don't live my life for money. I may have two jobs, don't get it twisted. But I have what I have when it comes to those two jobs as a means to be able to get certain things off of me so that I can live and to be able to provide means for my future generations. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with, we're specifically talking about finances right now, your motivation behind your finances. But if you feel comfortable, I'd like to know, like, let me know which one of those three categories do you honestly feel that you fall into? Are you the type of person that you go hard for your money? Like, you feel like, "Yeah, I gotta get it. I need that bag. I need to be able to, buy whatever I wanna buy." Like, if it's, y'all, I ain't gonna name drop because they ain't sponsoring me on this, but y'all be knowing them name brands. Just do it. Um, Air, yeah. But if that's your motivation, fine, let me know. Go ahead and claim it. Don't be shameful about it. Let me know. If you are the type of person that you understand money helps you to be able to live your life, let me know that too. And if you're the type of person where you are in a planning phase or your motivation for the money that you do get is to be able to help your future generations, hey, let me know that too. Because all of this is insightful. All of this is stuff that everyone engaging under the sound of my voice and listening to this will be able to have some newfound insight, some newfound perspective to be able to hopefully, prayerfully bring this into the dynamics of their families to be able to really talk about motivation. Like with my daughter this whole summer, I'll still, big up her. My daughter has her own business. It is a popsicle and sweet treat business. It is called Layla Pops. Layla Pops has been around I'd probably say for at least like the idea of it, the concept of it has been around for like at least 4 years. Now, in that 4 years, work has been done. I will say most of the work has been done by me, and I'm not trying to take anything away from her. Again, the purpose of me sharing this insight with you guys is to talk about like the spirit in different forms of motivation. And so 4 years been around. She has a lot of her business brand items. So she has a logo, she has a name. Um, she has like her labels, like the format of her labels printed out. Um, I just have not, made it a point, and I'm intentional about it right now, but I have not made a point yet to be able to fully file her back in things like her LLC and, sales tax ID. And the reason I have not done that is because Layla's full motivation behind her business, I don't feel as though it's shown up. It hasn't shown itself even as much as I have pushed and borderline begged and pleaded and, just tried to, in a way, I guess, convince her that you're at a phase in your life where you don't really have to do a lot in order to be successful in your business, especially like that beginning success. Like, you ain't gotta do product development. You have flavors that you offer. You have an assortment of things that you offer. She mostly does like popsicles during the summer and in the warmer seasons and stuff like that. But I'm also, you can do cookies, you can do brownies because it's a sickle and sweet treat business. That means if you're offering one of those two categories, you can do your business not only year round, but you can have a full assortment of customers here in Tulsa that you make your product, before you leave because this is her last summer where she's having to spend just the summer in Tulsa. And then, be in Houston the majority of the time. This is her last year in elementary school, and her dad and I agreed that, we'd let her finish elementary school and then we'll flip it to where I'll finally get my baby to come live with me majority of the time, and then, he'll have the experience of the summers with her. But so last summer, I don't know, like, she went to the Greenwood Cultural Center for the first time for their Youth Entrepreneur Summer Program, and she really liked it, and it seemed like it was very spot on and in alignment with her business because they were each of the groups of kids had individual sweet treats that they offered. So you had people that made, like, candied fruit, one little kid was in there with his grandfather, he had a whole, like, snow cone machine, not even old school way. No cool cups, no none of that. Like, he had a snow cone machine that crushes the ice. You either scoop it up or you put it under this thing and push the lever and the ice comes out, then you put the like he has a full business. So last year there was I noticed a different set of motivation in Layla when it comes to her business. And she sold popsicles there. She went to another summer camp in July of last year, a different summer camp, was talking about her business. I'm helping her talk about her business. She got into a really good position and she was able to sell a lot of popsicles. She even was supposed to, help somebody support their grand opening. But the motivation at that point like kind of dwindled. So what I'm Fast forward to this summer. I'm going off of last summer. I'm like, all right, this should be cool. She's done it before. She's seen what it's like to make her own popsicles. She's seen what it's like to actually get out there and sell. She's seen how simple for her as a popular person, a popular kid. My kid is popular. How easy it is to just talk to people. Like you don't necessarily always have to sell. Sometimes, when you telling people that you own a business as a kid, they'll support you. I wonder who told her that. But she don't ever believe it when it comes from me. She always gets it from everybody else. Like, so fast forward to this summer. I'm like, all right, cool. Like last year we did it. She made money. She was fully in the experience. There should be no issues in being able to do it. And this summer, the motivation was completely different. And I'm like, I don't get it. And I know why I don't get it because she's not me and I'm not her. Also, I'm the one pushing her to do it, and I've been told Layla likes to do things on her own time and in her own way. Alright, cool, she a kid, I kinda give her that. You wanna come to buy you toys, to buy you this, to get you candy, to buy you that, and I'm like, "Mm, no, like, I don't have disposable income just like that right now. Like, I got things I'm trying to take care of. So when you move here, we'll be good, you know? And it's just like I tell her, well, if you would sell your popsicles, baby, you'd have extra money. Now, granted, we do financial literacy over here. I did not grow up with it, and I'm not knocking either of my parents, my grandparents, nobody who raised me. That just wasn't the language that was used at home. I acknowledge and I accept that. But I know now as an adult and having my own child, that ain't what I'm trying to do. So you make your money, but your first 10% goes to God because He's due that. Without Him, you would not have been in the position that you were in to be able to make the money in the first place. It's just be all the way real over here. We give all glory, honor, and praise to God for the things that we get and the things that we're able to do because it's a blessing. Um, and then after you do your 10%, you save half. Because let's be real, she's a 10-year-old kid. There is not a whole lot that has not already been provided for her that she should need. This is more so to facilitate the things that she wants. So I'm not, a complete a-hole. I'm not that type of parent. But you want to spend all my money, but you won't get out and make your own money. And you made a good amount of money last year doing the same thing that it is that you should be doing now. The second issue I have with her motivation is, like I said earlier, her business is something that she should be able to do year round because of the way we have talked about it and lined everything out. There is something that she can fully offer all year. If she's not doing it, I don't know, maybe as part of a group, because she did go back to the cultural center this year. And again, I'm still pushing her to make popsicles, but this year they did, a different experience. They did cookbooks with, and then they had like trinkets, like bracelets and things like that. And I'm like, she's like, I think something, oh, I was having therapy when they decided to have their selling day. One, she didn't even tell me what the selling day was. I don't know if they didn't tell her and she didn't tell me, or she just wasn't worried about it and didn't tell me. Either way, there was a lack in the motivation between me being aware to get people to come out to help her get her goods sold. So she had piano and I had therapy after piano. So I didn't know if we were fully going to be able to make it because of the time frame. Everything ended up working itself out. But before that, like, I was talking to her and I'm like, "Hey, why are you so motivated right now for this selling opportunity and you got your own business?" Like, she was freaking out because she thought she wasn't going to be able to go to a selling opportunity that someone else put on for her. This is the way I look at it, maybe not the way she looks at it. Did you sweep that floor before you started mopping? No, You got to sweep every floor before you start mopping. So I said sweep and mop. Now back to you guys. But it's just like, you know what, I was trying to understand, was there a lack of self-motivation given the fact that she had her own business, or was she just more into the fact that it was a part of the experience of the camp that she went to? But it didn't make sense to me. It still doesn't make sense to me. But now, having gone through that experience with her and some other challenges throughout the summer, I know I cannot push my child to find her own motivation. I don't have it anymore. It's like I am a make it make sense type person first, or if it makes sense type person first. Like, yeah, I go that route. But if it doesn't make sense, then I'm on a quest to try to figure it out. But I can't push other people to find their motivation, and I can't push other people I now know to be able to find my sense of the motivation that I see in them. Everybody is going to do their own thing. And while I still love these people and will continue to engage with them because of the uncertainty, because of the lack of sense that it makes to me when it comes to their pursuit of their motivation. It's just, or when it comes to the root of their motivation, it's just like, yeah, I don't wish to do that anymore like that. I don't wish to engage because it ain't doing nothing but making us both frustrated and just putting us in bad positions because they won't find or be willing to get to the root of their motivation. And I live like that. There's so much of, and it might be because of the self work that I'm, doing and currently exploring in therapy. Um, I don't want to do anything that I don't know why I'm motivated to do that thing. I don't want someone or something else's motivation to push me in a direction that I'm not really wanting to go or that is not truly in my best interest. I don't want to live a life where I am not in the know. Like, I don't really know. That's that root. Like, I don't really know why I'm doing or engaging in this. I only got one life to live. And if I can't find why I'm motivated to live the one life that I have to live, or motivated to figure out why it is best for me to live the life that I live in a particular type of way, I'm not here for it. And I will gladly say that in this format and in talking to you guys today, because if I don't know what motivates me, if I don't know what motivates me to do something, to stay in something, to engage with someone, to not engage with someone, if I don't know what my motivation is from moment to moment in doing the things that it is that I do, I'm not going to know who I am on the other side. I'm not going to know how to get back what I have lost in not being in the pursuit of getting to the root of what really lies in my motivation. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I've done that before. I am motivated to never do that ever again. I am motivated to live in the space of understanding that I am different from most people. I am different in how I think on things. I am different in how I view things. I am different in how I go about things. I am different in how I feel about things. I am different from people when it comes to how I choose to express things. I am different when it comes to this extended space of understanding that I can operate in fully when it comes to other people. Like my understanding and my empathy for people is unlike no other. But in knowing all of those things at the same time, I am motivated to go about all of those things kind of differently because I have seen what it's like and I have felt what it's like to go through the experience of the discovery of motivation with other people. And it hits completely different. I'm not at a point where I am interested in allowing me trying to uncover and discover other people's motivations when it comes to anything with me. I am the type of person I say, I let's call a spade a spade. If you can't verbalize or truly express what lies at the root of your motivation when it comes to me, don't play in this sandbox. In a way, you are not tall enough to ride this ride. And I'm not the only one that feels like that. There is a shift that has been occurring in some of the other people's lives that I interact with where they're on like the same thing. Because you can tell me what you got going on and I'll listen. I genuinely will. And I will be your biggest cheerleader. I will root for you. I will, you know, try my best to give you the best of my capabilities to help you succeed. But if I don't know your why, because if I care about you, if I care about the fact that I want you to win, if I care about the fact that I want you to be able to have certain things, but you don't express to me your why, I still want what's best for you. But I am not willing to activate my Super Mario level up mushroom cap size motivation for you because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And in certain situations now, if people ain't willing to talk about the root of their motivation, to me, that's the equivalent of leading a horse to water and you end up drowning. Mm. Like I said, if y'all were able to like be flies on the wall on the back end side of the experiences that lead to these conversations that I have with y'all, you be like, dang, you so calm. You so peaceful with it. Like you move so smooth. Why do I need to move any other way? I know what my motivation is and why I'm moving the way that I'm moving in the first place. It ain't for me to change anything in that moment. I change whenever change says it's time. Don't get it twisted. I'm not that type of person. But when it comes to other people, I'm learning and I'm experiencing that I need to let these people kind of play out the scenarios in their lives in order to maintain this newfound supernatural peace that I have. Because this peace ain't even my own. This peace was given to me by the man upstairs. And it's like I told my best friend and one of my girlfriends, I never thought that this peace would come. My motivation in I had motivation to want this peace. It's like, all right, Lord, like whatever I don't need to be in, like, cool. Let me not be in it. And what do I turn around and do? I turn around and put my dang self in it. I went against my own motivation. All right, Lord, I promise this is the last time. I'm motivated to do it this time. I'm motivated to stick to my word. I'm motivated to honor myself. I'm motivated to honor you. I'm not going to do it anymore. What do? I put myself right back in it. He's like, Nicole, like, yeah, your motivation ain't quite where you think it is, and it surely is not where I need it to be. Let me go ahead and start, dropping these gems. Like you cool, you motivated to expose yourself to other insight, other perspectives, other thought processes, even on IG. Like, yeah, I look at what I look at on Instagram. I be scrolling just like everybody else. Some of it when it is delivered, I'm like, ooh, hold on. I ain't got the motivation to be sitting around here listening to that. It hits too close to home. It hits too close to that space that I'm not willing to acknowledge and fully open up and let the surgeon come in on. I'm still trying to hold on to it. There was it wasn't even a sermon, it was a talk that Ty Tribbett was having. Um, and it came at the right time, spoke on the right frequency, and it hit exactly how I needed it to hit. What it said was, people are always praying for God to remove them, to take them out of certain situations, to take certain people out of their lives. And even this past Sunday, because this is again more confirmation, we had a guest speaker, Anita Phillips, and she was talking about the same, or she was talking about something along the same lines, but she didn't deliver it exactly how, Ty Tribbett did. But his thing was, we sit up here and we pray and we tell God, hey, please remove all these bad situations. Take us out of these situations. Remove these people from us. Yada, yada, yada. This, that, and the third. You can fill in the rest, whatever your request, such as that, has been. And we do it and we do it and we do it. You, we find ourselves asking the Lord to take certain things out. And the Lord is like, you keep asking me to take it out, but you keep putting back in what I am taking out. At some point, God is going to let you sit there and be in the consequences of what you keep putting back in. And even to this day, in specific situations, I have still engaged in the excuse of the other person continuing. Like I say, it is what it is. I'm very vocal. I can put exactly how I feel out there. And now where I am with this supernatural peace, like, okay, I feel good about having to say what I got to say to whomever because it still comes from a place of love. I'm motivated to always walk in love. I'm motivated to lead my child in love, I'm motivated to make sure that at the end of the day, I am good. But in also being in that space, I have to identify when a situation is mine and when it ain't mine. So now that I have been granted this level of understanding and clarity on that level, added in with this supernatural peace that I feel. Because when I was in a storm, what, a little over a month ago now, and I acted out on Facebook, put that post up, whatever the case may be. Nobody knew what I was going through at that time. Nobody, there are certain people who have been in my corner, to just be able to know how I feel about certain things. And apparently that's a problem for people too, but that's what you're supposed to do when it comes to living life. But that's just me. Um, but yeah, uh, now that I'm in this place of supernatural peace, there are things that keep coming back to me that is just like, okay, I'll engage because I said my truth, I said my piece before. If I said my truth and my piece before, information on this new subject because this experience or this person has, come back around yet again. But everything that comes back around when you say you're done with something, that don't mean it's of God. That's a choice. You're at the crossroads of, okay, what you gonna do? You've experienced this before. You know what the lineup is. You know where this leads to. You have a newfound sense of peace, like real peace. Like you ain't tripping off of nothing. Your anxiety is gone. Your worry is diminished. You're eating again. You're figuring out your plan for life. You're getting back in good company. You've increased your relationship with God. All that led to this newfound place of supernatural peace. And I'm giving y'all insight into my real life. I'm giving y'all insight to what's really been going on with me. So the decision is, do you want supernatural peace? Or are you going to keep entertaining these situations that go against that supernatural peace? I'll choose supernatural peace for 200, Alex. Thank you. Because if I don't continue to choose the supernatural peace, then I am dishonoring the very thing that I prayed to God to give me. Before now, to get into the place of supernatural peace, there was a level of fear of what it's going to be being in this place. Because in order for me to achieve supernatural peace, there are some natural things and people that I have to let go of. Lord, I don't want to live a life where I'm by myself. Supernatural peace. I have to trust what God has for me on the other side of this place of supernatural peace. And honestly, come hell or high water, I trust you. You are consistent. You always show up. You never let me fall. Foundation, build my life on you. I will remember. You never fail. And that, thank you to my church, is my faith statement. Every time I feel anything that goes against my supernatural peace, And I am committed to not allowing myself or anyone else to go against my supernatural peace. My natural nature is to hold people accountable. Say this last point and then I'm going to wrap up. My natural nature in who I am becoming is to hold people. I don't overly push, but I don't overly get pushed either. If we are going to talk about something, we are going to talk about all of it. We are going to talk about your part in it. We are going to talk about my part in it. And we are going to talk about the parts that we don't talk about of what just naturally may have happened. Because that's a part of it too. But if you are set on pushing your agenda, if you are set on pushing your way, if you are set on pushing your sense of motivation off on me, I'm sorry, that does not work over here. And it won't work over here. We can find a way to have motivation to get on common ground. That can be a source of our motivation. But if that's not what you're trying to do, hey, cool. I still love you, but I'm going to love you from a distance. God is going to have to supernaturally come into my life and be like, yeah, you can talk to that person again. It's okay to be around that person. It's okay to engage with them in life. You may not be engaging in the same way that you were originally motivated to do, but it's okay. Lord gonna have to show me that. And he's going to have to show me that through those other people's actions. That's what lies at the root of my motivation when it comes to interacting with people. I am going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you guys again for taking the opportunity to sit and chill and have a really good conversation with your girl on this Sunday edition of Sunday Sit Down with yours truly, Nicole LaTreece. Out with my kid. I'm a little sad, but a little happy at the same time. Don't tell I said that. Just happy to, be able to get in full prep mode and kind of get back to myself. And continue to find out what lies at the root of my motivation for this next upcoming year of preparation for transition that we're going to be going through. My weekend plans, I'm motivated to get out, have fun with her, experience Tulsa, her last experience, and just really get in some good mommy and me time. So next Sunday, I'll still have the Sunday sit downs, but it's going to be a little bit different. So I have been blessed to have someone in my life, Queen's son. He has come on Sunday sit down previously. He and I are real friends in real life. And we have always had really, really good conversations. And in our conversations, it's like, man, like this may be something that people could really benefit from and they really, could get something good to come from it. So I am happy, happy, happy to announce that once a month, he and I are going to have a special edition of the Sunday Sit Down with Nicole LaTreece. And it is going to be the If We're Not Winning Sunday Sit Down with Nicole LaTreece and Queen Sun. Bow, 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 bow. I'm doing my own sound effects because we ain't got it like that just yet. But I am excited for y'all to see what like real life conversations between friends, business associates, a man and a woman, parents, like I am super excited for y'all to be able to come in and join us and, just see what it's like when people are intentional about how they do conversation as well as how they do life with one another. So after this month, it's going to be next Sunday that we're going to do it, but the first Sunday of every month moving forward, starting in September, will be the If We Not Winning special edition of the Sunday Sit Down with yours truly, Nicole Latrice and Queen Sun. So I hope you guys have a very good week. I hope that in this message of uncovering and talking about and me sharing insight about what really lies at the root of my motivation, that it causes you guys to like really take the time to sit with uncovering what your own motivation is. Like I said, what lies at the root of whatever it is that you need to figure out. People, come on, let's start figuring it out because once we figure it out, we grow to be better people. We stop certain behaviors and certain cycles once we get to the root of why certain things happen and why we do them, why we experience them. And then we also equip our future generations to be able to not have to go out and bump their heads in the same way or as much. I am seriously motivated about making all of that stop, but it ain't enough for it to just happen with me. It has to happen with you guys as well. So as always, I wish you all a good life filled with real love and all of the above. Until next Sunday, this is your girl, Nicole LaTreece. Have a good evening.